Alright, yeah, PoE still popping off on the numbers and Steam charts, so they probably got 500,000 people still playing if you count the standalone client as well. Go ahead and look at the patch notes here. 1.1 or 0.1.1 patch notes. In-game changes. Added 4 new tower map areas. Alpine Ridge, Bluff, Mesa, and Sinking Spire. So basically towers just going to be a little more mixed up. It's going to be neat. It's not going to be the same one every time. The Lost Tower map has also been revamped. This is to address the problem only having one attempt at the Arbiter of Ash boss fight. You will now have up to 5 respawn attempts at this fight. Respawns can only be triggered by the person who put in the key, and everyone in the party will be respawned at the same time. Leaving the map still forfeits your attempts, so you'll still need to fight the boss with the build you walked into the map with. Higher difficulties of the boss will lower the number of respawn attempts you receive. We'll be looking in to add respawn attempts to other Pinnacle content over time. Alright. So, we're going to get more attempts on the Arbiter bosses. That's a good thing to have. Alright, the Arbiter Ash can no longer be interrupted during his Falling Flame Seed skill. His Flaming Gale skill can no longer be blocked. Probably somebody was obviously cheesing him with that, I'm assuming. Arbiter Ash is now invulnerable for longer during its emergence and now takes significantly reduced damage while emerging. Arbiter Ash is now less likely to target minions using his sword, which could prevent some of their skills being used. Yeah, it's probably more like minion characters probably never had to dodge anything, I'm assuming. Added checkpoints to the map area. That is huge. That is really big because, yeah. Running around an empty map trying to find the last rare is pretty annoying. Map areas now contain a minimum of 3 rare monsters. Citadels can now appear closer to the Ziggurat Refuge. Man, I'm so far. I'm like 3 universes away from the refuge. It takes me forever to go back and find it. Alright. Maps now display their biome when hovered in the Atlas UI. That's neat. That's a good change. They also, improved the visibility of citadels and in-game maps. So supposedly you should be able to see them in the fog now. Added the new Overseer's Precursor tablet, a currency item which can be placed in completed towers to add a map bosses to valid maps in the radius. What? Overseer's Precursor tablet. So you can place it in completed towers to add map boss. Oh, okay. So basically, just like Breach, but adds map bosses. I see. That's neat. Map areas have been adjusted to have more distinct specialities for the content they contain. For example, one map area might have some total number of monsters, while another more likely to contain additional content such as strong boxes, essences, or shrines. Generally speaking, the more difficult the map is to clear, or the smaller it is, or the more axes it will specialize in. Here's an overview of the changes which we have made to give the maps more discernibility. Alright, so number of maps now spawn up to double number of chests, twice as minimum magic and or rare chests. Some maps now contain double the number of monsters. I like that one. This one's good too. Down here, more rare monsters. So you can have magic or rare. Obviously rare monsters drop all the loot in the game, so you want those. Now have a higher number of rare monsters. Wait. So we got more rare monsters and a higher minimum number. So you probably want both of those. Yeah. I don't think you can have 2 in 1. I'm not sure. Now then we also have 50% chance for essences, strong boxes, shrines. Don't really care about any of those. Maps that are only exclusively found in the biomes containing citadels now have 50% more chance to contain essence and strong boxes and shrines. Unclaimed hidden areas now have a substantially more magic monsters and fewer rare monsters. Monsters in the Untainted Paradise have been breeding. Untainted Paradise now contains 100% more monsters, of which spawns 100% more, thus quadruple the magic and rare. Improve the highlightability, clickability of shrines. Reduce the damage of scaling of monsters in a simulacrum encounters with added difficulty. Adjusted the chance for maps to contain bosses. You should be encountering a boss roughly every 1 in 4 maps. Okay. The chance for map bosses to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher has been reduced to account for the increase of total number of map bosses. Oh man. I love my drops on the map bosses, man. Those were juicy. The Radiant Waystone's Atlas notable passive now provides 15% chance for map bosses to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher, previously 25. Small map boss waystone chance passive now provide plus 6% chance for map bosses to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher. The I'm Not Afraid of You Delirium Atlas passive skill now grants Delirium bosses in your maps drop 100% increased simulacrum splinters. That's good. Reduce the number of monsters and small chests from breaches by 15. Reduce the number of monsters and small chests from breaches by... I don't understand that one. Increase the amount of simulacrum splinters found in maps by 20%. That's, I guess, okay. Just going to kill the price of them, I guess. Added a dedicated 2D art for waystones that are instilled with layers of delirium. Oh, I like that. That's going to be nice to see. Crisis fragments, breachstones, simulacrums. An audience, the king, will now have a more appropriate gold value to vendors. Okay, so they're probably going to be worth a lot more gold, I'm assuming. I don't know if it's still going to be worth selling, though, if they're, like, you know, worth a ton. Increased how far you can zoom out on the in-game map on a keyboard, mouse, and input to match the zoom level of your controller, but that's great, because, man, I'm so far in the Atlas, and I'm like, oh, you just, like, it just, like, it'll take 2 minutes just to get to one side or the other on my Atlas. Alright, let's take a look at everything everybody's been wondering about. Skill changes. Supercharged Slam now has each successive aftershock gains 0.5 meters to the radius up to 3 meters. Previously uncapped. Okay, so basically they're just adding a cap to it, so I'm guessing somebody was just like going crazy with it. Scavenge plating now grants you stacks of duration based on the enemy's rarity. Normal enemies grant 1 stack, magic enemies grant 2 stacks, rare monsters grant 5 stacks, and unique enemies grant 10. Never used scavenge plating, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a big difference. The lightning bolt skill grant... Oh no, my build's getting nerfed, I bet. The lightning bolt skill granted by Choir of the Storm unique amulet has been renamed to Greater Lightning Bolt to differentiate it from the skill granted by the stabs. Triggered greater lightning bolts are now unable to trigger a subsequent greater lightning bolt if the first was a greater critical hit. Greater lightning bolt now deals roughly 3.5 times more base lightning damage compared to the lightning bolt. So... triggered greater lightning bolt are now unable, so it's no longer able to proc off of itself, but the first was a critical. Greater lightning bolt now deals roughly 3 times more base damage compared to the lightning bolt. So basically, they're just going to make it hit less and do more damage, I think. I don't know. I'm going to have to test it out after the patch. Temporalis unique body armor can no longer reduce the cooldown of a skill below 100 moves a second. Below 100. Oh, no. So that means that's going to basically kill the teleporting around. That sucks. Trying to think though, that's a really small amount of time, so you should still be able to teleport really quick. Skill socket and meta gem sockets can no longer gain energy. Clarified Vine Arrow's description to explicitly state that it hits enemies on landing. I was just using Vine Arrow, testing it out. So it does hit. Clarifies it saying that it does hit while landing. Remove the Aurora tag from the pain offering for consistency with the other minion skills, as the skill does not directly create an Aurora. The Aurora is created by summoned minion. Not quite sure about pain offering. Alright. Well, there's our nerfs right there, and the only thing that really looks like it got nerfed was the Temporalis lightning bolt, and we'll see how bad it is. Looks like they just made it so it's not going to infinitely trigger and pause the whole screen. So, and cast on spark seems to be yeah, okay still on bosses. All right, next up, monster changes. I really don't know the names of all these monsters, so I'm just gonna basically skip through all that. I'll briefly read through it. Now deals less damage. Basically, yeah, the meteor skill, you can no longer get off shot from the Lost Men. From the Lost Men's Elliot's, well, they can no longer, like, basically kill you from off the screen. Reduce the axe throwing distance of the Veil Axemen. Basically, it's just like nerfs to make it, like, prevent some of the one-shot shit from off screen, just so, like, the game's like, you get one portal of maps. They want to make it a little less rippy from off screen. Toxic Rain also now deals less damage. Jamarna no longer spontaneously explodes on death. Oh, here we go. This guy's a killing machine. The mighty Silverfist. the commando roll now deals significantly less damage. Yeah, because it's like you wanted to fight him at range, you get one shot by his big slam, but you fight him up close, he fucking rolls and one shots you. So yeah, that's a huge fix right there. The density of monsters neutral has been reduced. What? Why would you ever reduce the density of monsters? Improve the telegraphing of the anchor drop from monsters affected by Essence of Torment. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. That hurts. Volatile plants are much more noticeable both before and as they're about to explode. Okay. Elemental explosions caused by minion death and those periodically cast by a rare monster have had their visual effects improved. They delay before these explodes has also been increased. Energy shield looks like it's been nerfed on monsters. Alright. General changing and improvements. Enabled migrating from the solo self-found league. Strong boxes have been adjusted to spawn waves of enemies over a much shorter period of time. Strongbox fog. Now fades away once all the waves of enemies have been spawned. Significantly increase the chance to encounter research strong boxes. Added a visual effect to distinguish which monsters have been spawned by a strong box. Are they still going to suck? I guess so. I don't think anybody likes doing strong boxes. The volcanic crag, lightning storm, ice spikes, and chaos barrages strong box modifiers have all been adjusted to activate after a delay. Charms now play an effect on your character when they are automatically used. Okay, that's neat. Socketables such as runes can now be overwritten by placing another socketable item into the... Oh, that's wonderful. That's a huge fix. So now we can replace our sockets. I love that. It's just massive. That should have been in the game right at the beginning. Attempting to salvage an item now highlights which items in your inventory can be salvaged and displays item sockets. That's cool. Flasks with quality are now able to be salvaged. Okay. Armor has been made more effective by approximately 15%. Let's see how that works. That sounds really good. Maybe people with 3,000 life and armor will be able to not get one shot all the time. We will see. More monsters are now able to be pushed while dodge rolling. This generally applies to most monsters smaller than a skeleton. Objects such as delirium shards can no longer be pushed by other monsters. Increase the chance for omens to appear as virtual wards. Okay, yeah, that's needed because omens are freaking ridiculous. It's like they add in this crafting methods with omens and they all cost like 15 divines each. Like, who the fuck? Yeah, nobody. I'm probably, I'd say, in the top 1% of people that play this game, and I don't even use omens because they're so expensive, you know? I play this game a lot, and I've spent, several hundred divines on builds, and the omens are just for, like, the richest of the richest people. It's ridiculous. Reduce the chance for items to roll some of the less desirable item modifiers. Okay, that's good. We'll see if that actually happens. Distilled emotions required to install a passive skill on an amulet are now only displayed on the passive skill tree after you've picked up your first distilled emotion. Okay. Added an exit portal to the Trial Master Arena. Remove the level requirement to access expedition vendors. That's nice. I hate that you can't like get into anything on a new character till you beat the entire campaign twice. Rarity of items in the expedition vendor shops now increase with shop level. So shops generally have more rare items at higher levels. This doesn't affect existing shops, and you'll need to use a reroll currency to generate shops with the improved rarity. Okay, I like that. Might make it actually worth... Like, I've been completely skipping expedition so far. It's just a waste of time, it feels like. But it looks like they're trying to make it better, so we'll see. We'll check it out, actually. Reduced visual clutter in mini-map areas to improve the visibility of skills and effects. Added a tutorial for activating your first persistent buff skill gem. Improved and fixed inconsistencies for walkability through areas in the campaign as well as maps. Okay. Improve the load time of the world. Thank you. It felt like it got faster for a while, then it started to get slow again. This is wonderful. I don't know what's taking so long, but I'm glad they're fixing it. Reduce the initial player revive time to 2.5 seconds, previously 3. Reduce the player revive time penalty to 1.5 seconds per death, previously 2. Alva now has an option to gamble for items when placed in your hideout. Heck yes! Oh, that's awesome! This is perfect. We needed that. Good stuff. Reviving minions that died from being on a range can now instead immediately revive near you. The quest tracker now shows which quests are available for the area that you're currently in. Uncut gems now show their level and item label. That's good. I like that. Charms now display their number of charges when they are active. Updated the world map icons when you have completed quests. Encounters found to make it more clearly that they have been completed. Okay. Added proper grading weapon effect options to the cosmetic panel UA. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. The Arian's Cobble, Heartbound Loop, Ironhide, and Miras Uxor uniques have received 2D art. I don't care about that. Oh, Hand of Wisdom Action has received 3D art. Somebody's going to be happy about that because everybody's using it. Added flavor text for the Eater's Tusk and Splinterheart uniques. After activating an Omen of Whittling, hovering over an item before applying Chaos Orb to it will now display which modifier will be re-rolled. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, too bad. And they cost like 85 divines. Improved performance of the Exclusion, the Chimera boss fight. Improved performance of the Lava in the Molten Vault. Okay. Reduced screen clutter, improvement performance in the affected player when killing rare monster objectives in in-game map. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I know sometimes that would like slow down for a minute. Improved performance of areas with very bright lights that cast many shadows. Notably the Temple of Kopek and the Ziggurat Refuge. Improve the performance of the Ziggurat encampment in order to reduce the occurrence of unloaded textures. Burning ground can no longer spawn underneath interactables such as levers. Okay, yeah, that would suck. Hasn't happened to me, but burning ground hurts. Putting it under a lever, that would be really bad. You die on it, like especially like an augury. Oh, that would suck ass. Monsters can no longer spawn near the close-to-end entrance of maps. This often caused players to immediately attack upon moving. Added keywords for honor resistance. The layer monsters are no longer untargetable during their emerge animation. As a result, they should no longer push you during. That's awesome. I hate that. It's so annoying. You can now pick up items and interact with some objects while performing other actions. The attack in place stop movement option no longer prevents walking on skills that can be used while moving WSAD movement. Continue to incrementally improve the sound art and effects of environments. Holy crap. Unique item changes, I'm going to leave out. There's just so many uniques. And it's like impossible to know all of them. So we're going to go ahead and skip that part out. Holy crap, man. There's so many unique items. I'm going to have to go through all that. Might just make a separate video for it. Bug fixes. Fixed our client crashes. Fixed or 4 client crashes. Fixed 4 instance crashes. So, fixed a lot of bugs. Holy crap, there's a bunch of bugs. Yeah, that's a lot of bugs. Alright, controller improvements. While using currency, inventory navigation using RS will ignore items currently selected. Currency could not be used on. Lots of controller fixes for the Xbox people, PlayStation. I'm going to skip that too. Console improvements. Man, they did a lot. Microtransactions. Looks like they enabled a bunch of stuff. Enable the following existent cosmetic microtransactions for use in Path of Exile 2. A bunch of wings and stuff. Alright. And the dancing kitty. Kitty kitty! Alright. Well, we pretty much went over all the important stuff. I'll go ahead and... Alright, let's test it out. Let's see how this acts now. Still feels about the same speed. Just not spraying like crazy. Still works. The hell, stuff isn't dying right away though. Slowed down a bit. The build still works, it's just slowed way down. You don't have the massive lightning bolts, man. So that's basically the Temporalis Choir nerf. Hell. It's hard to say because, I mean, the screen flashed up so much. Yeah, that's the Temporalis nerf. Let me go back out real quick. I'll show you the map zoom real quick too. Everything seems to be working much greater. So look how far you can zoom out. That's super nice. I love it. Still though, there's just so much. Like sometimes it stops loading. Like look, it stops right here. It won't let me go further, but I like how we can zoom out much farther. It's super great. Because yeah, I've gone like screen after screen after screen way over. Alrighty, well there you go. You got a 100 millisecond thing on the Temporalis now. Still works just fine. You can make many more builds with it still. Choir of the Storm's just the popular one right now. I mean, I found, you can do like Corpse Explosion as well. That works incredibly well. But there you go.